Greetings! Thank you for joining me. If you have been following my channel at all this year, no doubt you noticed that we got the year kicked off with a pretty long series. I am immensely grateful to their ladyship Castellana for sitting down with me last December for a couple of reasons. Number one, one truism for Castellana and I's relationship is that any chance we get to sit down and talk, it's going to be a long conversation. And that is the power of that particular friendship. And another thing that I really enjoy, which I'm hoping you noticed in the interview segments, is that I did learn a lot. Even there on camera, there were a lot of things that were discussed that I'd never heard before from Castellana, and that's another treasure I have in that friendship with them. And another thing that was kind of meta outside of the camera was that I knew the latter half of December and January and February were going to be just insane for me and my family. Nothing wrong, nothing terrible or even remotely bad, but it was just going to be busy. The first of the year is always, or the beginning of the year is always busy for me at work. We had a lot of SCA stuff going on. So I knew going into December that I needed content for the beginning of this year, because that's what we're here for. I wanted to provide you with additional content, but I knew I wasn't going to have the energy or the time to record that content. So that worked out really well for us. And of course, I did take part of December and the early part of January off just because I needed the break. But here we are. The interview is over, and if you want to go watch the interview, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go back, and I'll have a link down in the notes below, and you can go back and watch the interview in all its glory. But what does that bring us coming forward? What am I planning for the channel? And I've got some plans for us. Now, first of all, when I set out to create this channel, one of the things I established very early on in my mind was this was not going to be a self-promotion channel. This is not going to be episode after episode of Ivo coming on here and talking about how great he is. That's not the content that I want to make. That's not the content that I feel you're going to benefit from, and I don't feel like that type of self-promotion adds to this conversation, at least for either of us. I'm always glad to offer my experiences, and I love the chance to tell and share my stories with a lens of education and entertainment. There's nothing wrong with just having fun. But I always want to keep in mind that this channel, this series isn't about me. This is about us. This is about you and I learning and exchanging information and ideas and being better SCAers for it. Now, that being said, based on feedback and reactions I've gotten from different videos over the past year, I do feel like I can safely steer a little closer to that line, if you will, on self-promotion. I still want to provide you with valuable content that you can use. And some of the developments in my life, some very recently, some in the rather distant past, I think are relevant talking points for conversation that maybe I strayed away from before out of an overabundance of caution and still learning the dynamics of this channel. So you're going to see a little bit more content like that. But the short and sweet of it is I'm still here, I'm still producing, and you and I still have a lot to talk about. So I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't, to follow my social media feed, and keep an eye out, because there's a whole lot left of this year, and I've got a whole lot of content for you. So I'll see you for the next video. Until then, goodbye. God bless.